The Varelia system had endured countless battles, but the humans were far from done. Commander Alara Voss stood on the bridge of the HSS Resolute, her eyes scanning the horizon. Beyond the shattered planets and orbiting debris lay the remaining Krith fleets, desperate, powerful, and dangerous. But humanity had learned, adapted, and fought with a determination no alien could match. Lieutenant Ryan Kale approached, his expression a mixture of anticipation and caution. Reports show their main command fleet is gathering near the outer rim. This is their last chance to reclaim control. If we strike now, we end the war. Illyra nodded. Then we strike. Humanity does not hesitate. We fight for the helpless, for justice, and for life itself. Today, we finish what we started. The humans and Tavari coordinated a massive multi-front assault. In orbit, fleets moved with precision and daring. Human pilots, trained for unpredictability, darted between enemy ships, striking critical points. Tavari ships flanked the Krith fleet, their elegant energy cannons synchronized with human targeting systems. On the planets below, soldiers led daring raids. Human squads disabled Krith supply depots, liberated enslaved Tavari civilians, and dismantled weapons installations. Engineers rigged devices that disrupted enemy communication lines, while scientists adapted Tavari technology to create temporary energy shields that allowed safe passage for civilians. Lyran, the Tavari commander, watched from a cruiser. Your people, humanity, you do not fight as others do. You are not just warriors, you are protectors. That is why you succeed. Alara's eyes did not waver. We fight because it is right. That is all the reason we need. The first wave of attack was explosive. Lieutenant Ryan Kale led a squadron directly into the heart of the Krith fleet. Using improvised maneuvers, they confused enemy defenses, striking at command ships and support vessels alike. The Krith were strong, but their rigidity and predictability worked against them. Meanwhile, Serene Miro piloted a squadron through a barrage of energy fire, disabling Krith drones that threatened to overwhelm human and Tavari forces. Each strike demonstrated humanity's greatest weapon, ingenuity and courage. Every move was unexpected, every tactic unpredictable. On the ground, human and Tavari forces worked together seamlessly. Captain Maradoon led a squad into a Krith command base. Using grappling lines and energy disruptors, they disabled key weapon systems and freed hundreds of enslaved Tavari civilians. For every soldier lost, 3 more civilians were saved. Humanity fought not for power, but for life. The Krith responded with desperation. Massive warships launched energy beams that could destroy entire cities. Drones swarmed human fighters, attempting to overwhelm them with sheer numbers. But humans were prepared. Engineers deployed decoy fleets, redirecting attacks. Pilots weaved through firestorms, striking critical points. Soldiers adapted tactics in real time, ensuring every move counted. Lieutenant Ryan executed one of the most daring maneuvers of the war. His squadron split the Krith formation, striking command ships from multiple angles. The flagship erupted in flames, throwing the remaining fleet into chaos. The Krith had underestimated human ingenuity once again. As the battle reached its peak, Alara coordinated a final decisive strike. Using combined human-Tavari technology, the HSS Resolute directed a massive energy pulse toward the core of the Krith fleet. Planets and orbiting stations contributed power, creating a synchronized attack unlike anything the galaxy had seen. The pulse struck true. Krith ships exploded, energy beams disintegrated enemy formations, and command centers collapsed. What had begun as a desperate invasion turned into a catastrophic defeat for the Krith. Lyran observed the destruction with awe. Your people, humanity, you did not just fight. You turned the tide of the galaxy. We are in your debt forever. Alara's voice was calm, yet carried the weight of victory. We fight because it is right. We fight because no one else will if we do not. The galaxy is safer now because we refuse to stand by. When the last Krith ships were destroyed or fled, the Varelia system fell silent. Fires still burned, but the people were alive. Civilians emerged from shelters. Children laughed among the ruins, and soldiers tended to the wounded. Humanity had not only defended, they had liberated, protected, and inspired. On the HSS Resolute, Alara gathered her crew and Tavari leaders. Today, humanity has proven what we always believed. Courage, creativity, and determination can overcome even the greatest threat. But remember, this is not just about us. It is about protecting those who cannot protect themselves. That is what makes us human. Lyran bowed deeply. Your people, humans, you have shown us something we never knew possible. You are not conquerors. You are heroes. You are hope. Alara smiled faintly. We all have the power to do what is right. Today we chose to use that power. That is why we win. Not because we are the strongest, but because we never give up. In the days that followed, humans and Tavari worked together to rebuild. Cities rose from the ruins. Orbital stations were repaired, and Tavari civilians were trained in defense tactics to prevent future invasions. Children played once again, free from fear. Soldiers and engineers shared knowledge, teaching not just tactics but courage, ingenuity, and hope. Even as they rebuilt, the memory of the Krith loomed. Humanity had won, but the galaxy was vast and threats could arise anywhere. Alara knew that the fight for freedom was never truly over. But humanity had proven something vital, that when pressed, they would rise, adapt, and protect, no matter the cost. Alara walked through a liberated city, seeing Tavari children drawing pictures of human pilots and soldiers. Civilians thanked her and her crew, tears in their eyes. She understood the weight of responsibility now. Humanity had entered a new era, not just as defenders of Earth, but as protectors of the galaxy. Lieutenant Rian approached. "Do you think the Krith will return?" he asked. Alara looked at the horizon where the stars stretched endlessly. "Maybe, but when they do, they will face humanity again. And humanity will not hesitate. We fight for life, for justice, for those who cannot fight for themselves. That is what makes us strong, and that is what makes us unstoppable." The HSS Resolute prepared to depart Virelia, carrying human soldiers, Tavari engineers, and rescued civilians. Lyran approached Alara one last time before the fleet jumped to the next system. "Your people, you brought more than war. You brought hope. You brought courage. You brought freedom. We will never forget this day or your people." Alara nodded. "We did what we had to do. The galaxy is bigger than any one planet, any one species. If there is injustice, we will act. If someone cannot defend themselves, we will fight. That is humanity. That is our promise." As the fleet jumped through the wormhole, leaving Virelia behind, Alara reflected on the journey. Humanity had answered a call for help across the stars. They had faced impossible odds, adapted, innovated, and fought with courage beyond measure. They had brought total war, and in doing so they had brought hope, freedom, and a new legacy. The galaxy would remember this day, and humanity's name would be spoken with respect, awe, and sometimes fear, not because humans sought power, but because they refused to let injustice stand. They had shown that courage, intelligence, and determination could defeat even the most ruthless enemies. Alara turned to her crew. "We came to help, and we did more than that. We protected, we fought, and we inspired. The galaxy is safer because humanity is here. But our work is never done. We will continue because that is what humans do. We never give up." Below them, Tavari and other liberated civilizations celebrated. Hope had returned to worlds that had known only fear. Freedom had been won and a promise had been kept. Humanity had proven itself, an unstoppable force, a beacon of courage, and a protector of the helpless. And somewhere, across the vast stars, Commander Alara Voss knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity had brought total war, but more importantly, humanity had brought justice, hope, and the unshakable proof that no one could ever underestimate them again. The galaxy had changed. Humanity had arrived. The twin suns of Veyron cast a warm golden glow over the colony cities, their light reflecting off the glass domes that protected human settlers from the planet's thin, harsh atmosphere. Children ran in the parks and the hum of hovercrafts filled the air. Veyron had been peaceful for decades, a place where humanity had planted its roots far from Earth. Farmers tended vast fields of alien crops modified to grow in the soil. Scientists conducted experiments that Earth could never allow, studying native life forms with curiosity and respect. Life was simple, structured, and safe, or at least it had been. Colonel Arik Vale stood atop the command tower of the largest city, New Aurora, scanning the skies with binocular optics. He had been a soldier all his life, but his years of service never truly prepared him for what he saw that morning. A dark shape appeared on the horizon, moving with terrifying precision. At first, Arik thought it was a meteor shower, but then the shapes multiplied, forming an organized fleet. Alien ships unlike anything seen before, shimmered with metallic blue light. They glided silently yet menacingly across the sky, weapons glinting in the twin suns. "Colonel, sensors are detecting energy readings we have never seen before," reported Lieutenant Sirahan, her voice tight with worry. "They are massive, and they're approaching fast." Arik's jaw tightened. He knew this was no ordinary threat. Humanity had grown complacent on Veyron. Technology, settlements, and peace had made people forget how fragile life truly was. Now all that would be tested. The aliens, later identified as the Zerathi, descended like a storm. They did not communicate or negotiate. In an instant, the quiet cities erupted into chaos. Energy beams sliced through buildings, turning homes and laboratories into molten wreckage. Hovercrafts trying to flee were vaporized in midair. The air filled with alarms, screams, and the sound of collapsing metal. Arik barked orders, his voice firm despite the fear creeping into his heart. "All defense units, get to battle positions. Activate planetary shields." "Shields are failing, sir," Sira replied, her fingers flying over the control console. "They are overwhelming us. Their weapons are beyond anything we have." Arik clenched his fists. He had trained his entire life for battles like this, but he had never faced an enemy like the Zerathi. They were precise, ruthless, and completely merciless. Their ships were unlike anything Earth had produced. Huge, fast, and armed with energy weapons capable of destroying entire city blocks in seconds. Despite the chaos, Arik saw glimpses of hope. Teams of soldiers fought bravely, using old tactics to slow the invaders. Small energy turrets fired in bursts, landing some hits, but the aliens were relentless. Every human victory seemed to be swallowed by the advancing Zerathi forces. "Colonel," a messenger shouted, running through the debris. "Communications with the outer colonies are down." "They're all gone." Arik's heart sank. Entire settlements wiped out in minutes. This invasion was not random, it was total annihilation. Humanity was facing its darkest hour, and Veyron, their home, was turning into a battlefield. Amid the destruction, Arik made a decision. He turned to his officers and spoke with a voice that carried over the screams and explosions. "We cannot hold them forever, but we can call for help. Prepare the SOS broadcast. Send it to Earth now." Sira's eyes widened. "The signal. It will take days to reach Earth, sir." "I know," Arik said, his voice steady, "but it's our only chance. Even if it takes days, someone has to answer." The SOS was prepared quickly, a desperate transmission containing every detail about the Zerathi attack. The coordinates of Veyron, and a plea for help, was encoded into a quantum communication array. It was designed to reach Earth faster than normal messages, but even then, the distance was enormous. Every second mattered, and Arik knew that they might not survive long enough to see a response. Meanwhile, the Zerathi landed massive strike forces on the surface. Alien walkers towering over human tanks stomped through the streets. They moved with terrifying coordination, crushing vehicles and tearing down buildings with energy blades. Civilians ran in all directions, many tripping over rubble or getting caught in crossfire. The scene was one of total chaos. Arik led a counterattack, rallying his remaining troops. "Hold the eastern perimeter. Protect the civilians. We cannot let them take the city center." The humans fought with courage, improvising traps and ambushes. They set up explosive charges in narrow alleyways, used energy nets to entangle the alien walkers, and coordinated attacks with precision. For brief moments, it seemed the tide could be turned. But the Zerathi adapted quickly. They learned from every human tactic, responding with new strategies that made even Arik admire their intelligence. Every victory came at a heavy cost. Entire squads vanished in seconds. Buildings that had been safe moments ago were reduced to rubble. Amid the firefight, Arik found a group of civilians trapped in a collapsed building. With the help of a few soldiers, he dug through debris, shielding the frightened families as they worked. Children clung to him, their wide eyes reflecting the fires burning around them. One little girl whispered, "Will Earth come for us?" Arik paused, feeling the weight of her question. He knelt down to look at her, hiding the fear he felt. "They will," he said firmly. "Somewhere far away they will hear our call and they will come." The SOS signal finally launched into the stars, carrying the last hope of Veyron's humans. Arik watched the glowing beam disappear into the sky, feeling a mixture of fear and determination. He knew that survival depended not just on weapons or numbers, but on human courage, ingenuity, and unity. As night fell over the burning city, The aliens did not rest. They continued their relentless assault, tearing through streets and buildings with terrifying efficiency. Human defenders were exhausted, but they refused to give up. Each small victory, each life saved, was a spark of hope in the darkness. Arik moved from post to post, inspiring his soldiers with words and actions. We may be outnumbered, but we are not beaten. Fight for each other. Fight for Veyron. Fight for humanity. In the sky above, the SOS signal continued its journey to Earth. Unknown to the people of Veyron, it carried not just a plea for help, but also a message of human resilience, a signal that would awaken forces on Earth long dormant, forces known as the War Titans, humanity's ultimate protectors. The first day of the invasion ended with Veyron still standing, but barely. Smoke filled the skies and fires raged across the cities. Soldiers patrolled shattered streets, helping the wounded and organizing survivors. The Zerathi were relentless, yet every step they advanced was met with human resistance. Arik stood atop the command tower once more, looking out at the destruction. His uniform was scorched, his face smeared with soot and sweat, but his eyes burned with determination. "This is only the beginning," he muttered. "We will not fall without a fight. Earth will answer, and when it does, they will see what humans are capable of." As the twin suns set, casting long shadows over the ruined city, Veyron's last defenders prepared for the long night ahead. The SOS had been sent. Humanity's call for aid had left Veyron, and somewhere far across the stars, the War Titans would soon awaken. Even in despair, hope burned. Humanity would not give in. Humanity would fight, and humanity would survive. Far away from Veyron, in the orbital command station above Earth, alarms blared as a red alert signal flashed across the main console. Lieutenant Kara Jin quickly ran to her station, her fingers flying over the controls. On the huge screen in front of her, a blinking icon indicated an incoming quantum SOS from Veyron. "Colonel Rylan," Kara said, voice trembling with urgency. "We've just received a high-priority SOS. It's coming from Veyron, Sector 1247. Colonel Rylan Hayes, a seasoned commander with streaks of gray in his hair, examined the transmission. The signal was frantic, full of desperation and destruction. Images of burning cities, collapsing buildings, and terrified civilians flickered on the screen. "They're under full attack," Rylan said, his voice tight. "This isn't a small raid. They're being annihilated," Kara nodded. "Sir, the SOS contains coordinates and they are requesting immediate support. They said the attackers, Zerathi, I think, are overwhelming their forces." Rylan leaned back, his hands tightening into fists. He had trained for emergencies, but the SOS contained something he had never fully hoped to see. Veyron, humanity's colony, in total peril. "Get me the War Titans ready," he ordered. Kara's eyes widened. "Sir, the War Titans? Are you sure?" "They've been in storage for decades. Their last activation caused complications." Rylan's face hardened. "Complications or not, these people need us now. Activate all available Titans and prepare a fleet to jump to Veyron immediately. We leave in 12 hours. Deep in the launch bay, massive machines rested in silence. War Titans, each over 80 meters tall, equipped with energy shields, plasma cannons, and advanced AI-assisted systems, stood dormant like ancient guardians. Over decades, humanity had kept them in reserve, fearing their immense power might become a danger in untrained hands. Now there was no choice. Captain Alara Miles, one of the most skilled Titan pilots, arrived at her assigned machine. The Titan's massive frame filled the entire bay, its sleek armor glinting under the bright lights. She ran her hand along the surface, feeling the hum of energy coursing beneath. "Are you ready for this?" Commander Rylan asked. Alara took a deep breath. "I've trained for years, sir, but activating them after so long, it feels like waking giants from a long sleep." Rylan nodded gravely. "Giants that will fight for humanity. Remember, Captain, this is more than a rescue mission. It's a statement. Humans do not abandon their own." Meanwhile, back on Veyron, Colonel Eric Vale and his defenders held their positions at the ruined eastern perimeter. Explosions rocked the ground and alien walkers crushed the streets ahead. Each second brought more destruction, and the human fighters were tired, hungry, and fearful. "We can't hold them much longer," Lieutenant Sirahan said, wiping sweat from her brow. "Even with traps, we're losing ground fast." Arik's eyes scanned the horizon. Then through the smoke he saw faint glimmers, distant lights in the sky moving faster than any ship they had. "Hold your positions!" he shouted. "Look there." Across the stars, Earth's fleet jumped into Veyron's system. The arrival was awe-inspiring. Massive ships emerged from faster-than-light travel, their hulls shining like silver mountains against the black void, and behind them, the war titans descended. Each titan landed with a ground-shaking thud, creating shockwaves that knocked alien walkers off balance. Dust and debris scattered as the humans stared in disbelief. For the first time in days, hope returned to the defenders of Veyron. Ilara's titan, named Aegis, moved forward, stepping through the rubble with precision. Its sensors scanned the battlefield, identifying threats and civilians in need of rescue. The AI-assisted targeting system locked on to approaching Zarathi units, calculating optimal paths for engagement. Colonel Arik ran to the edge of the battlefield, waving his arms. "Soldiers, we are no longer alone. The Titans are here." The humans cheered, raising their weapons, their spirits rekindled. The Zarathi, momentarily stunned by the sudden appearance of these gigantic machines, hesitated in their advance. Even the most advanced alien commanders seemed unsure how to counter such enormous opponents. Ilara activated Aegis's energy shield, deflecting a plasma blast from a Zarathi walker. With a single swing of her massive arm, she toppled the alien machine, sending it crashing into nearby buildings. The humans watched in awe, their eyes wide at the display of raw power guided by human hands. Arik coordinated with the Titan pilots via comms. Ilara flanked the left side. "Sierra, lead what troops you have to the center. Protect the civilians at all costs." "Yes, sir," Ilara responded, voice calm but focused. Her Titan moved like a predator, hunting with precision. Energy cannons fired in measured bursts, disabling alien walkers without causing unnecessary damage to the city. Meanwhile, Rylan monitored the battlefield from orbit. "They're coordinating well," he said. "Human ingenuity combined with the Titans. It's exactly what we hoped." On the ground, Arik watched as the humans and Titans fought side by side. Soldiers with rifles and energy grenades attacked the aliens from multiple angles, while Titans crushed the enemy machines and cleared paths for civilians. Small victories turned into larger ones. The Zarathi were forced to retreat in some areas, giving the humans a chance to regroup. Yet the battle was far from over. The Zarathi adapted quickly, deploying heavier machines and more powerful weapons. Their strategy was brutal: hit fast, destroy everything, and move before humans could respond. Ilara's Titan engaged a massive Zarathi walker that towered over even her machine. The battle was intense, with energy blasts colliding in showers of sparks. Using clever maneuvers and human intuition, she targeted weak points in the alien armor. With a final powerful strike, the walker toppled, sending the aliens retreating further back. Arik led a squad to rescue trapped civilians in a partially destroyed building. "Come on, everyone. Move quickly," he urged, lifting debris and guiding families to safety. The children clung to him, crying and scared, yet inspired by the sight of Titans fighting beside them. "Captain Ilara," Arik shouted over comms, "we have civilians pinned. Can you cover us?" "On my way," she replied. Her Titan moved with unmatched speed, creating a protective barrier of energy around the civilians. The humans escaped while the Titans engaged the aliens in combat, ensuring no one was harmed. As the battle continued, something became clear. The war Titans were more than machines. They represented human courage, ingenuity, and determination. Every move was calculated, yet guided by the intuition and experience of the pilots. The Zarathi had never faced an enemy like this, and even their advanced technology could not outmatch human strategy and spirit. By the end of the day, the tide of battle had shifted. The Zarathi were no longer advancing freely. Instead, they were forced to retreat in several sectors, regrouping for another attempt. The humans had taken back key positions, protected civilians, and given hope to the survivors of Veyron. Arik stood on the edge of the battlefield, watching the sun set over the city. The smoke still rose from burning buildings, but the sound of cheers from humans filled the air. "Colonel," Sierra said, looking at the Titans, I can't believe it. They actually came. They actually answered our SOS." Arik nodded, his gaze steady. "Humanity will never abandon its own. And this is only the beginning." The Zarathi thought they could destroy us easily, but they underestimated what humans are capable of. In orbit, Commander Rylan observed the battlefield one last time before giving orders for Titan rotation and supply drops. "We've made a statement today," he said. "Humans fight, humans survive, and humans will protect each other no matter the cost." Back on Veyron, as night fell, survivors began gathering in safe zones, tending to the wounded, and taking in the sight of massive war titans standing as guardians in the city. Even amidst destruction, there was hope. Humanity had arrived. Humanity had shown its strength. And humanity had proven that no enemy, no matter how advanced, could break their spirit. The SOS had been answered. Earth's war titans were here, and for the first time in days, the people of Veyron dared to hope for tomorrow. The city of New Aurora lay in ruins, smoke rising in thick clouds that blotted out the twin suns. The streets were shattered, and buildings that once reached proudly toward the sky were now nothing but skeletons of metal and glass. Yet amidst the devastation, a glimmer of hope remained. The war titans had arrived, and with them, humanity's spirit surged once more. Colonel Eric Vale moved through the city with his remaining soldiers. Each step was cautious. The Zerathi had not given up. Alien scouts and small units prowled the streets, seeking to strike where humans were weakest. Aric's squad had one mission: reclaim the city center and rescue as many civilians as possible. "Keep your eyes open," Aric warned. "They're still dangerous. Don't let the Titan's presence make you careless." Lieutenant Sirahan nodded, scanning the rubble-strewn streets. "I'm detecting alien patrols ahead. A direct route could be trapped." Aric studied the path, then nodded. "We'll use the side alleys. Move fast and stay quiet. The civilians need us." As they advanced, the first wave of alien resistance appeared. A group of Zerathi walkers, smaller than the massive machines they had seen from orbit, advanced through the wreckage. Their energy weapons hummed with a deadly glow. Soldiers raised their weapons, firing coordinated volleys, but the aliens adapted quickly. Suddenly, the ground shook. A massive Titan Aegis emerged from the haze, its towering frame casting shadows across the city. It raised its arm, sweeping aside alien walkers with crushing force, its energy shield deflecting blasts that would have destroyed any human vehicle. Aric felt a surge of relief. "Move up, the Titans have our backs." The humans advanced, using the Titans' firepower to cover their movements. Explosions lit the night as buildings crumbled under controlled strikes aimed to trap the aliens. Civilians, huddled in basements and shelters, peered through broken windows, watching the towering machines with awe and hope. In the city's industrial district, Aric's team encountered a critical problem. A group of civilians was trapped in a collapsed factory, the structure teetering dangerously. Time was critical and the aliens were approaching fast. "Aric, they're sending reinforcements," Sierra shouted. "We need to get those people out now." Aric scanned the ruins. "We'll do it. Soldiers, follow me." He led the way, carefully moving through twisted metal and broken machinery. Explosions echoed around them, but they pressed on, determination guiding every step. Meanwhile, above the city, Captain Alara Miles piloted Aegis with precision. Sensors detected the trapped civilians and the approaching Zerathi units. She communicated with Aric, coordinating her Titan's movements. "Colonel, I see them. Hold tight, I'll clear the path," Alara said. Aegis moved with incredible speed for its size. Its massive fists smashed alien walkers, sending them crashing into walls. Energy beams cut through advancing squads, creating safe corridors for Aric's team. Each strike was calculated, avoiding unnecessary destruction to protect civilians and buildings. Inside the factory, Aric reached the trapped civilians. Children clung to their parents, eyes wide with fear. Aric knelt down, speaking calmly. "You're safe now. Follow us quickly and quietly." Sierra helped guide them through narrow passages while soldiers cleared debris and kept watch for alien scouts. Outside, Aegis raised its arm, deflecting incoming attacks and shielding the group as they emerged into the street. The humans and civilians regrouped behind the Titan. Aric breathed heavily but smiled. "We got them out. Everyone safe?" "Yes, sir," Sierra replied, looking at the grateful faces. "Thanks to the Titan." Ilara's voice came over comms again. "We're not done. More alien units incoming. I'll lead the charge." The ground battle escalated. Across New Aurora, Titans smashed through alien machines, their massive frames moving with surprising agility. Each Titan was piloted by humans who combined strategy, intuition, and courage. The Zerathi were intelligent and adaptive, But the humans' creativity and teamwork made them unpredictable. Arik noticed the aliens concentrating on a central command hub, a reinforced building where the Zarathi seemed to coordinate their attacks. Destroying it could disrupt their operations, giving humanity a significant advantage. "Commander, the hub is our target," Arik said over comms. "If we take it, we can cut off their reinforcements." Alara's Titan moved toward the hub with careful precision. "I'll handle the hub," she said. "Colonel, you lead the ground troops to secure surrounding streets. Timing is everything," Arik nodded. "Understood. Soldiers, let's move. Protect civilians and follow my lead." The streets became a battlefield of destruction and strategy. Humans and Titans fought in perfect coordination, using traps, explosives, and clever maneuvers to gain the upper hand. Aegis smashed through the hub's outer defenses, while Alara fired precision energy blasts at the command center's critical points. Inside the hub, alien commanders tried to issue orders, but the humans' tactics were too unpredictable. Walkers were disabled before they could reach key positions. Communication lines were cut, and the Zarathi began retreating from the front lines, confused and disorganized. Outside, Arik led a squad to secure the surrounding streets. They cleared rubble, rescued civilians, and fought off small alien squads. The sight of Titans towering above them inspired soldiers to push beyond exhaustion. Each human movement, each calculated strike, combined with the Titans' immense power, created a perfect synergy. After hours of intense fighting, the hub's walls cracked. Energy shields flickered and collapsed under the relentless assault of Aegis and supporting Titans. With a final strike, the hub's core exploded, sending a shockwave through the area. Alien machines toppled and the remaining forces scattered in disarray. Arik and Sira regrouped with civilians and soldiers. The streets were littered with debris, but the humans had won a major victory. Survivors emerged from hiding places, cheering as Titans stood as guardians above them. "Colonel," Sira exclaimed, "we did it. The hub, it's destroyed." "They're retreating." Arik looked around at the battered city. "This is just the beginning. But today we proved something. Humanity fights even when the odds are against us. We survive and we protect each other." Alara piloted Aegis through the streets, scanning for remaining threats. She landed beside Arik, the Titan's massive foot resting gently near the rubble to avoid harming civilians. "The hub is gone, Colonel. They're retreating, but they'll come back. We need to prepare for the next wave." Arik nodded. "We will, but today we held our ground. Earth's Titans saved us. Humanity's spirit won the first battle." The survivors began organizing, gathering food, water, and medical supplies. Soldiers worked alongside civilians, helping to rebuild barricades and safe zones. Even in the midst of destruction, there was hope. Humanity had endured its darkest hour and emerged stronger. Night fell over New Aurora, casting long shadows across the city. Titans stood tall like sentinels, their glowing eyes scanning the ruins for any lingering threats. Arik looked at the horizon, where distant smoke indicated the Zarathi's retreating forces. "Colonel," Sira said softly, "do you think Earth will send more Titans?" Arik smiled faintly. "If they have to, they will. And we will be ready. Humanity never abandons its own. Today the Titans proved that. Tomorrow we'll prove it again." In the skies above, stars twinkled like distant beacons. Somewhere far away, Earth prepared more reinforcements, responding to the call of its people. And on Veyron, humans stood united, showing the Zarathi and the universe that courage, ingenuity, and determination were stronger than any alien weapon. The battle for New Aurora was not over, but humanity had turned the tide. From the ashes of destruction, a new hope emerged, a hope that would inspire not just Veyron, but all of humanity. Arik raised his gaze to the stars. "We will fight, we will survive, and we will show the universe what humans are capable of." The first light of Veyron's twin suns barely cut through the smoke that still hovered over New Aurora. The city had survived the initial assault, but the battle was far from over. Alien forces were regrouping, their massive war machines repairing themselves quickly with alien technology. Yet humanity had gained a new advantage: the War Titans, massive mechs that could match the Zarathi in both strength and intelligence. Colonel Arik Vale moved through the city with his soldiers, coordinating with the Titans. The streets were littered with debris, but the humans pressed forward. Every building, every barricade, every narrow alleyway was used as a tactical advantage. Humans and Titans fought as one, combining strategy, bravery, and innovation. Colonel, Lieutenant Sirahan reported, scanning the horizon. We've identified multiple Zarathi units advancing from the northern ridge. They are heavily armed and moving fast. Arik studied the terrain. The ridge gave the aliens a clear advantage. If they were allowed to hold it, they could dominate the city. We can't let them take the high ground, he said firmly. Prepare the soldiers. Titan units flank from both sides. We strike together. Across the battlefield, Captain Alara Miles piloted Aegis, scanning for weak points in the enemy formation. Colonel, we can disrupt their advance if we target the rear supply lines. I'll lead a strike team of Titans to break their formation. Arik nodded. Do it. Our soldiers will follow the main front. Stay coordinated and protect civilians. The humans moved with purpose. Soldiers laid traps, planted explosives in narrow streets, and used high-ground vantage points to fire at alien units. Titans moved like colossal predators, crushing walkers, deflecting plasma blasts with energy shields and firing with precision. Every attack was calculated, every maneuver designed to save human lives and weaken the alien advance. The Zarathi, though advanced, had not anticipated this level of coordinated human resistance. They were intelligent, yes, but predictable in their overconfidence. Each human action seemed to anticipate their moves. Humans adapted quickly, turning ordinary streets into traps, using ingenuity and terrain to their advantage. Alara's Titan group reached the rear of the Zarathi formation. Using precision strikes, they destroyed alien supply units, cutting off reinforcements and ammunition. Explosions rocked the ridge, and alien commanders tried to regroup their units. But the Titans were relentless, moving with speed and intelligence that no alien machine could match. On the ground, Arik led his soldiers in a coordinated advance. Human ingenuity shone through in every tactic. Soldiers used electromagnetic pulses to disable alien electronics temporarily. Engineers improvised rail-guided energy cannons from rubble and damaged vehicles, firing at alien units from hidden positions. Civilians helped by transporting supplies and aiding the wounded, demonstrating that even in war, humanity's compassion and teamwork endured. A massive Zarathi walker appeared on the ridge, towering over everything around it. Its weapons fired indiscriminately, obliterating a street in seconds. Soldiers scrambled for cover. Alara, we need backup. Arik shouted over comms. Aegis moved with incredible speed, leaping over rubble, and fired concentrated plasma bursts at the walker's joints. Another Titan, Sentinel, landed beside it, joining the attack. The massive alien machine staggered under the combined force. Using coordinated strikes, the Titans toppled the walker, sending it crashing down the ridge. Humans cheered, their spirits lifting. Even soldiers who had been exhausted and fearful felt renewed energy. They were fighting not just for survival, but for pride, courage, and the protection of their fellow humans. Arik pressed forward. Keep advancing. We cannot let them regroup. Protect civilians at all costs. The Zarathi tried another tactic. A squad of their fastest walkers attempted to flank Arik's position, yet humans anticipated it. Using improvised barricades, controlled explosions, and strategic fire from elevated positions, they halted the flanking units. Even when outnumbered, human creativity turned the battle in their favor. Alara communicated with all Titan pilots. Coordinate attacks. Focus on weak points, protect each other, and watch civilian zones. We are the shield for everyone here. The sight of massive Titans moving across Veyron inspired both soldiers and civilians alike. Children watching from safe zones whispered in awe, pointing at the machines. Look, they're huge. They're helping us. Arik felt a surge of pride. Humanity had faced near certain destruction, yet now with strategy, courage, and unity, they were taking control. It wasn't just the Titans' power. It was the ingenuity and bravery of humans guiding them. As the battle continued, Arik noticed the aliens concentrating on a critical area, the city's main communication tower. If the Zarathi captured it, they could cut off human coordination and make further attacks more deadly. We cannot let them take the tower, Arik said. Sira, mark the route. Soldiers, follow me. Titans, provide cover fire. They moved swiftly, clearing streets and avoiding remaining alien patrols. Titans smashed through heavy alien defenses, creating a path for the human soldiers. Explosions shook the streets, fires burned, but the humans pressed forward, driven by courage and determination. At the tower, A final battle erupted. Zarathi units had fortified the entrance with energy shields and heavy walkers. Soldiers engaged from cover, while Titans attacked the outer defenses. Aegis leapt into the fray, swinging massive fists that shattered alien machines. Ilara's precision strikes disabled the energy shields, opening a path for Auric and his squad. They moved in, taking down remaining alien units with calculated fire and courage. Finally, they reached the control room at the top of the tower. Auric placed explosives on key structures, ensuring the aliens could not regain control. "Clear out! Move!" he shouted. The team retreated just as the explosives detonated, sending the tower into controlled collapse. Alien units were caught off guard, scattering in chaos. With the tower secured, human forces now held control of New Aurora. The Zarathi were forced to retreat from the city, leaving behind damaged machines and broken units. Human survivors emerged from hiding, cheering as the Titans stood tall amidst the ruins. Auric and Sira regrouped with civilians and soldiers. "We did it," Sira said, breathing heavily. "The city, it's safe, at least for now." Auric looked at the horizon where distant smoke indicated the retreating aliens. "This is only the beginning. They'll come back. But today we proved something crucial. Humans fight together, humans adapt, and humans never give up." Ilara piloted Aegis, scanning the city. "Colonel, civilians are secure and remaining alien units are scattered. Titans and humans coordinated perfectly. Veyron has a fighting chance." The survivors began organizing, setting up medical tents, distributing supplies, and rebuilding barricades. Soldiers and civilians worked side by side, demonstrating the unity that had turned the tide. Even in devastation, humanity's spirit shone brightly. Night fell over New Aurora, and the twin suns disappeared behind the horizon. Titans patrolled the streets, their glowing optics scanning for any remaining threats. Humans and machines now stood together, a perfect combination of courage, intelligence, and strength. Auric stood atop a partially destroyed building, looking over the city. "We've taken the first step. We've shown the Zarathi that humans are not easy prey. We will rebuild. We will fight. And we will survive." In orbit, Commander Rylan Hayes monitored the battlefield. "The tide is turning," he said. "Humanity is proving what it has always been capable of: courage, ingenuity, and the refusal to surrender. The Titans are the shield, but the humans are the heart." Across the planet, Veyron survivors slept in safe zones, recovering from the brutal day. Children drew pictures of Titans. Soldiers recounted their daring maneuvers, and citizens whispered tales of the massive machines that fought for them. Humanity's legend had begun to grow, not just on Earth, but across the stars. Auric's voice came over the comms, steady and commanding. "Tomorrow we prepare for the next assault. Zarathi will return, but they will face a united humanity. Titans and humans together, nothing can break our spirit." Ilara's voice echoed back. "We will be ready, Colonel. The Titans are with you. Humanity stands with Veyron." And so, under the twin suns of a recovering New Aurora, humanity prepared for the challenges ahead. The city was scarred, the streets broken, but the spirit of humans burned brighter than ever. The Zarathi may have underestimated them, but they had learned a harsh lesson. Humans fight, humans endure, and humans never surrender. The battle for Veyron had entered a new phase. Humanity had proven its strength, and with Titans and courage united, the turning tide had begun.